Welcome back, my name's Steve and thank you for joining me on my photography journey today. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different. As I may have mentioned once or twice in previous videos, I am actually going on a cruise soon, tomorrow in fact, to the Norwegian fjords. Now, I just need to work out what to take and how to squeeze it into some kind of bag. So let's have a look. So this is what I've got coming up. It's a 7-day cruise. It's leaving from Southampton, which is only about an hour's drive away from me, then heading over to Norway and the fjords. We're going to stop at a few ports along the way and spend some time going up through the fjords where we can take lots of pictures of scenery, wildlife and everything like that. I mean, I've heard a lot about the fjords, but I've never actually been there in person myself. So what I always wondered is what actually is a fjord? And apparently it's a valley that was created by a glacier. And some of them are hundreds of meters deep, up to a mile wide, and have kind of a unique habitat, unique wildlife to them. So we should be able to get pictures of some really interesting things. I've even heard a rumor that there might be whales. So we will see. And even if there are no whales, they're surrounded by mountains, it'll be nice and green, so there'll be plenty to photograph. And that's just nature. So there's the cruise ship itself, there's the ports that we'll stop in, and everything in between. So Norway, like I said, is somewhere that I've always wanted to go. So I am rather excited about it, and particularly as it's now tomorrow. So I need to get packing. As you may have noticed, I'm quite keen to take some photos and videos while I'm there. So luckily I've got my new bag, which I've talked about previously, and I'm going to pop some bits and pieces into there. But because it's a whole week, I am also going to take my big bag as well. Now, I'm filming all of this on my Z30 as normal, my 12 to 28mm power zoom lens. So that will be coming with me, but I won't show it in this video because, well, you're watching me on it. You may remember that one of the things that I bought recently was the 180 to 600mm lens. Ugh, this one here. Now, this will take up this entire bag. So let's start by trying to fit it in here. And when, as I assume, it won't fit, we'll get my other bag out and fit it into there instead. Let's go. So let's open this one up first, just in case it does fit into here. Unzip that one. Now with this top compartment in here and this setup, there is no way that that is going to fit in there, is there? So I think, will it fit that way? No, won't fit that way either. So I think it's time to call on the big bag. So this, as I said before, is the ProTactic BP450 AW2, which is such a catchy name that I can always remember it. So let's open this one up. And in here, we can see that we've got these bits and pieces. So will it fit that way across? Yes, actually it does. Will it fit in that one in the middle? Yes. So actually that keeps it pretty well protected. And I mean, I thought I was going to have to do more pulling apart than that, but actually it fits quite nicely in the middle there. I could even use the strap from the other bag to keep this locked together, or I could use another one of these pieces. Let's see. Not thought about this before, but if this one comes out, can I then put that across there as a protector? And the answer is yes. Yes, I can. So this seems to be fairly well protected in here, and that's one of the important things when traveling, particularly when you're going somewhere that requires a car, a bus, a boat, other people potentially moving my bag around. So I need to make sure it's nice and secure. So actually, let me just get the case that it came with. We have here, I'm not convinced that it's much of a case, but anything to add a little bit more protection. Let's tuck it up nicely. There we go, it's nicely tucked up. I can put that back over the top. And there we go, he's nice and secure in the middle there. Like I said, I could move the dividers around, but it fits quite nicely in the middle there. So obviously with the lens this side, I don't want to be hand holding it the entire time. So I also want to take my tripod as well. So let me just grab that. Lots and lots of stuff. I'm going to disappear behind all this in a moment. But again, my tripod, it just collapses down. Let's move that out of the way. So this just collapses down like this. This is my photography tripod. This is the K&F Concepts one that I've spoken about before. I'm going to leave my video one behind because I don't think I need to take that. So this looks fairly big at the moment, but it does fold up a bit smaller than this. So obviously the first step to fold it up smaller is to extend it. There we go. But now what we can do is swing these legs around. There we go. And number 3. So it is a lot more compact. So that's nicely tucked away in there. Now I am taking an extra bag for that rather than attach it to one of these bags because I can. The only luggage restriction on this cruise is I have to be able to fit everything into my cabin. So I should be okay. So like I said, because of the size of that lens, I don't want to be hand holding it, which is why I've got the tripod. And as we'll be on a moving boat, on the moving sea, I'm not expecting to take any kind of long exposures with my camera on the tripod, but it'll be basically somewhere for me to rest my camera when I'm not using it. So when I'm sat on the balcony with a coffee looking out in the morning, it will be there ready for me when I see a whale swimming past. So in order to do that, I need to have one of these on my lens, which is a Peak Designs capture clip attachment. It's actually an Arca Swiss sized attachment, and the whole point of this is that it can go onto the lens collar on my lens, then onto the tripod, and then rather than supporting the camera on the tripod with the heavy lens tipping over the edge, I can use that foot on the lens itself as the point of contact because the lens is heavier than the camera, so it just balances on the tripod a little bit better that way around. So I need to make sure I've got one of these to take with me. Luckily, I've got a little area in here for small bits and pieces, so I'll leave that one in there. And the other thing is that I need those on my cameras as well. When I'm not using such a big camera, I will be using this, which is my L bracket. This goes on the side of my Z5, again has an Arca Swiss style size plate at the bottom and at the side, so it's easy to mount my camera in a landscape orientation or switch it over to portrait. So for photography, that makes life a lot easier. So camera and lens, excellent. Make sure the cover's on, make sure that I've got my memory cards and a battery in there, so everything is ready to go with that. So Z5 is in. The last of the big items will be my other 2 lenses. So I've got my 24 to 200, so the more compact zoom compared to the size of the 180 to 600. That's probably my most versatile lens, which I may have talked about before as well. And this is my 35mm lens. I'm not entirely sure whether to take this one or not because it is covered by the 24 to 200 range, obviously, and the 12 to 28 that I've got on my DX Z30 because remember crop factor, but this is an f1.8 and that's what makes the difference. So I think I probably will take it. It's not very big, is it? It's a really nice lens. It's massive aperture, so I can get some really sharp pictures with it. So I will make sure that I take that as well. So I'll fit that in too. Now, as you can see at the moment, I don't have any dividers in here, so everything's just kind of floating free. I will change that. I will put some dividers in here to make these fit nice and snug, just like this one, so that there's no problems with that. Now that I've got all these bits in here, I probably need some accessories to go with them as well. I need to record video potentially, so I've got my Rode wireless mic. Obviously I'm wearing one at the moment, but those will go in there. I'm not going to have any internet connection while I'm there. So rather than my usual online backup, which I've talked about recently, I'm going to make sure that I've got a couple of SSD drives in order to back things up to. Again, I'll put a divider in, make sure that they are nice and safe in there. Batteries, lots and lots of batteries, so that I've got batteries for my Z5, I've got batteries for my Z30, and obviously I need to take a charger with them as well. Oh, and cables for the SSD drives. So I'm now ready. I've got something to back up, something for sound, something for photos, some batteries, ND filters, because if I'm outside and I want to film something, then if it's bright daylight, I will probably need an ND filter to make sure that I've got the right shutter speed. And also, if I do end up taking any long exposures, particularly at night when the boat's docked or from the port, then I will need, in this handy little container, my ND filters. So I've got two of them. I've got a 1000 and a 64, so different levels of darkness. They're basically sunglasses for your camera, so that's what those are. Like I said, I'm going to tidy this up using the magic of YouTube and editing. Room for clothes at the top, room for a few more bits and pieces as I need them, and then a whole other bag free still for anything that I might want to put in there. So I'm ready to go now. All I need to do is get my tickets, my passport, and yeah, some clothes, and then I'm off. So I hope you have a great week. I will obviously share what I find out when I get back, tell you all about it, show my pictures, and we'll go from there really. So have a great week, and I'll see you again soon on my photography journey. Bye.